Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, let's go back in our time machine to, mid-November of last year. President Trump had just successfully won the White House, and we were all thinking about what is a new DOJ and what is a new ATF going to look like. And we said that there were a lot of things that could be done to undo some of the damage that had been done to our Second Amendment rights under the previous presidential administration. And amongst those things, we came up with several ideas, which included reversing positions. Well, that's been done. Filing amicus briefs on case. Well, that's been done. Recalling ATF rules. Well, that's been done, but more work can still be done. And filing their own lawsuits. That had not been done until now, because now we do have a lawsuit. We have a lawsuit against Los Angeles County and their sheriff. Why? Well, because they've been playing way too many games with concealed carry permits. So today, let's spend a few minutes, let's geek out on the complaint, and let's talk about, finally, DOJ sues California. Okay, America, we are going to be talking about a lawsuit that is filed by the United States Department of Justice against not only Los Angeles County, but also Los Angeles Sheriff Robert Luna. Of course, the case then is United States of America versus Los Angeles County and Sheriff Robert Luna. It is filed in the United States District Court for the Central District of California. Since we're doing a video about California, we'll give a shout out to our first ever California subscriber. Of course, that is Philip P. Now, just how bad is it in California? Well, there's two ways to find out. Number one, if you want to wait, you can wait until October 13th. Juan Costas Moros and myself do our first of many Behind Enemy Lines. That will be debuting October 13th, live right here on YouTube, 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and he can explain the misery that he has to go through. Or we could just actually pay attention to what's in the complaint here. According to the United States Department of Justice, that's right, they are the plaintiffs on this case, and I want you to understand what a momentous occasion that is. The DOJ claims the following. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has systematically denied thousands of law-abiding Californians their fundamental Second Amendment right to bear arms outside the home, not through outright refusal, but through a deliberate pattern of unconscionable delay that renders this constitutional right meaningless in practice. Okay, just how bad is it? I want you to pay attention to these numbers. So if you have any doubt that there's gamesmanship going on, check out these numbers. The scope of this constitutional violation is staggering. Between January 2024 and March 2025, defendants received 3,982 applications for new concealed carry licenses. Of these, they approved exactly 2, a mere 0.05% approval rate that cannot be explained by legitimate disqualifying factors alone. This is not bureaucratic inefficiency, it is systematic obstruction of constitutional rights. Oh, and if you actually do want to defend your life or that of your loved ones, you better hope that nothing bad happens for at least a year, because take a look at how long it takes to get one of these things if you're lucky to get one at all. The mechanics of this obstruction are equally damning. Defendants force applicants to wait an average of 281 days over 9 months just to begin processing their application, with some waiting as long as 1,030 days, nearly 3 years. The median delay is 372 days. These delays far exceed California's own statutory requirement that licensing authorities provide initial determinations within 90 days, demonstrating defendants' flagrant disregard for both state law and constitutional obligations. And listen, what California is doing here is they're basically saying, hey, your life's not really worth preserving. We get to determine what life is actually worth preserving. And all you applicants, you don't fit the category. Don't believe me? Take a look at these numbers. The human cost is profound. As of May 2025, approximately 2,768 applications for new licenses remain pending, with interviews scheduled as late as November 2026, more than 2 years after some applications were first submitted. Numerous applicants simply gave up and withdrew their applications, often after waiting months in defendants' deliberately stalled process. These are not abstract statistics. They represent thousands of law-abiding citizens who have been stripped of their constitutional right to self-defense outside their home. And of course, this is the thing I want you to understand. California does not permit open carry. The only way you can carry a firearm is on your person concealed with a recognized California concealed carry license, of which, of course, they don't honor any license from any other state. So California is essentially precluding individuals from exercising their Second Amendment right outside of the home. Okay, now, what grounds is the United States using to sue Los Angeles County and Sheriff Luna over this? Well, the complaint specifically states, the United States is authorized under 34 United States Code Section 12601 to seek declaratory and equitable relief to eliminate a pattern or practice of law enforcement officer conduct that deprives persons of rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. Now, that statute, 34 United States Code Section 12601 reads, "It shall be unlawful for any government authority or any agent thereof or any person acting on behalf of a government authority to engage in a pattern or practice of conduct by law enforcement officers or by officials or employees of any government agency with responsibility for the administration of juvenile justice or the incarceration of juveniles that deprives persons of rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. Whenever the Attorney General has reasonable cause to believe that a violation of paragraph 1 has occurred, the Attorney General for or in the name of the United States may, in a civil action, obtain appropriate, equitable, and declaratory relief to eliminate the pattern or practice." Which means that theoretically, that is the very same statute in which the United States Department of Justice could file numerous lawsuits against numerous states, mostly those contained right here on this list, for what is obviously a very systematic and deliberate thwarting of individual constitutional rights. And so the actual allegations that the United States Department of Justice has pled against Los Angeles County and their sheriff include defendants' systematic practice of delaying the processing of concealed carry weapon permit applications has deprived and continues to deprive thousands of law-abiding individuals who applied for a new license to carry a concealed firearm of their Second Amendment rights as incorporated by the 14th Amendment by A, denying applicants a prompt determination of their applications within a reasonable time, B, failing to provide applicants with meaningful notice of the status of their applications or reasons for delays, and C, effectively forcing applicants to abandon their constitutional rights through administrative exhaustion. Accordingly, defendants have engaged and continue to engage in a pattern or practice of conduct by law enforcement officers that deprives people of rights secured and protected by the Constitution in violation of 34 U.S. Code Section 12601 sub A. So what is the United States asking for remedies, right? We got to talk about remedies because what do we always say? If you don't have remedies, you don't really have a lawsuit. Well, the United States government is demanding a declaration that defendants' pattern and practice of subjecting law-abiding applicants for concealed carry weapon permits to excessive delays violates the Second Amendment as incorporated by the 14th Amendment. A declaration that defendants' pattern and practices of approving virtually no new concealed carry weapon permit applications submitted by law-abiding applicants violates the Second Amendment as incorporated by the 14th Amendment. A permanent injunction prohibiting defendants from implementing California law and regulations governing the issuance of concealed carry licenses, including, but not limited to, California Penal Code sections 26150 through 26235, in a manner that violates the Second Amendment as incorporated by the 14th Amendment and 34 United States Code section 12601 as alleged herein. Okay, so where this suit goes, nobody knows, but the factual allegations made by the United States Department of Justice are definitely damning to the state of California. There really is no other plausible explanation, except they are just intentionally delaying and thwarting the constitutional rights of otherwise law-abiding California residents. The case, once again, is United States of America versus Los Angeles County and Sheriff Robert Luna. We're going to link up the Department of Justice's complaint down below so that you can geek out on it for yourself. Now, America, I know some of you are still very lukewarm on Pam Bondi. I'm not a Pam Bondi fanboy. I'm also not a person who's always constantly tearing Pam Bondi down. But I want you to consider the momentous occasion that occurred here, where the United States Department of Justice has filed suit against the most populated state in America for absolutely violating the Second Amendment rights of its citizens. Okay, if you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, which in LA County appears to be next to nothing, You should know how to get a hold of Washington Gun Law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information's down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, you click on that link right there and you tell us all about it. If you're interested in our monthly newsletter, you can subscribe to that by clicking on the link down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe. Okay, let's remember, like always, all the research we did for today's video was done where? That's right, at GroundNews. Why is that? Well, I like to get treated like an adult, and I bet you do too. And when you have a platform that's going to scour over 50,000 independent news sources and give you a biased distribution breakdown, let you know how the headlines are being manipulated, oh my gosh, it actually allows you to make up your own mind. Check out the blind spot. This will show you stories that are being disproportionately reported by one side of the political spectrum or the other. And right now, you can get every feature that GroundNews has to offer through a Vantage Plan at 40% off. And all you got to do is go to ground.news/Washington or scan this QR code right here. Listen, if you're finally ready to break free from media manipulation, visit my friends today at ground.news/Washington.